Hi folks, hope you're doing well. So you can see the time on the bottom right and the date. Again, we're talking about Man United, and the reason why I'm doing this is because, the video I did earlier, that was saying what I said earlier. We've seen another video anyway that use probably is the way to go. But let's look at the woes a bit closer, I suppose. Well, I mean, if you look at this Man United team, it's very similar to the team that Van Gaal had. Great attack, because remember the team that Van Gaal had, great attack. Di Maria actually started playing really, really well. In that first couple of games, he was playing brilliantly well. Everyone was very excited to see this new acquisition, this new player, and see what he'll do for the club. But the defence was awful. The defence was really poor. Jones and Mollie. Oh my lord. Yeah. The club hadn't actually bothered to spend the right money on getting the right players for the defence. We're in the same position now. We've got a good attack. We've got good attacking midfielders. Pogba, Bruno, and Van der Beek. We've got 3 good forwards, ish. Certainly, if they're on the game, they're very good, and they don't seem on the game very often. But okay, that's a separate point, really. Potentially on a good day, we've got a very good attack, but our defence is atrocious again. Maguire today, he was absolutely terrible. His decision making, I will point out, I've not seen the game, couldn't see it for some stupid reason. I don't know why. A lot of people are having the similar sort of problem. I have BT, and through BT I've got Sky, but I get Sky Sports through Now TV. Now TV password suddenly isn't working. Well, your login doesn't work. Right password, right username, but sorry, we can't log in right now. I'll try again later. Message you get every time, and you could try 50 times a day, you'll get the same message. Whatever you try and do to fix it, same message comes up, and it's like, no, I don't know what's going on there. So, that's not very good. But through that, I was going to hopefully watch the game. In a way, I didn't miss out anything, did I really? I would have spent most of the time shouting at the TV. Or the wall, because I have the projector. So, So, anyway. The game, yes. I think Bailly did okay. But I've been watching a lot of people's comments afterwards, and there's a few things that are quite interesting. United have announced the signing of Tellez and the signing of Cavani today. I think that's a signing, or is it the intent to sign? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they've all been signed. We're set to sign Tellez. I think Cavani is also set to sign. I don't think he's been signed yet. Let's refresh that page and see if we have any actual signed. No, it's still only set to sign. I don't think there's been any signed yet. So, yes, Liverpool lost 7-2. So basically, we're on the same 5-goal margin. Got beat by Aston Villa, the team that barely survived last season. Yeah. Aston Villa are now second. Oh, wow. There you go. Surprises. Bit of a surprise, isn't it? Yeah. Thankfully, with the Tottenham game, it's only 3 points. That's the thing. Horrendous game. But it's only 3 points. It's not as if you lose a lot more points as a result of that. We don't. But yeah, United seem to have made the mistakes along the line. Certainly when you look at Maguire and you look at Wan-Bissaka. The other summer, United were looking at getting British players. But they weren't even looking at getting the best British players. They were looking at getting the British players they could get. So like the best right back or right wing back wouldn't have been Wan-Bissaka, but that was the one they could get. The best centre back wouldn't have been Maguire. Well, it might have been if you talking about British. It might have been Harry Maguire. But it would have been a toss-up, I imagine. Now, what they should have been doing was looking to get the best players they could in the world. So open everything up completely. Go and get Koulibaly. Big defender. I'm sure in today's game he would have not taken prisoners. He would have been quite a good partner for Bay. Both of them crashing through even their own players to make sure that the other team doesn't score. But like Maguire, chosen as captain, he's still captain. The captaincy hasn't been given to someone else. Now, surely it's going to be given to Bruno. Not because Bruno is one of the better players, attacking-wise, but because Bruno seems to have that attitude. He's going to get players playing well. If players are playing poorly, he's going to be shouting at them, having a go at them. Yeah. Trying to get them all riled up to play better. Maguire doesn't do that. So if Maguire doesn't do that, one has to ask, what's the point of him as captain? Yeah, that's the reality. We've got a few dogs sleeping right now and dreaming. Amber's asleep. He's having little dreamies. Alright, so yeah. There are a lot of problems at the club. I mean, you can certainly say, coaches-wise, terrible. Carrick, junior coach. McKenna, junior coach. Phelan, a coach that stepped away from football because he was fed up with it. That come back in just to help Ollie out on what's supposed to be a temporary sort of situation just to get the club through that season. And now those are the coaches that Ollie's stuck with. Yeah, one that's retired and didn't want to get back into football, but it's been sort of, conned back into football, really. Then two incredibly inexperienced coaches that really are way over their head in this situation. They haven't got a clue what to do. They're not experienced coaches. They don't know how to coach a team out of this. Ollie certainly doesn't know how to coach a team out of this. He's never had players of this sort of quality playing this badly. So what's he going to do? He's not got that experience, has he? I mean, come on. Neither did Van Gaal, really. Neither did Jose. Because with Jose, once things started going wrong, that was it. He lost his job. Every time. Everywhere he's gone, once things start going wrong, he can never get it back. He's never been able to do that. He's never been able to get a team that's playing badly, playing well. Never happened in his career. I don't think it happened very often with Van Gaal either. Van Gaal was incredibly lucky. He got involved in football management at a time in Dutch football when they were playing that complete football, and he was just blessed at the point where he came through at that point in time. Had he come through at any other point in time, he may have failed as a manager. But because he did well there, he got jobs with great teams, with fantastic footballers. Teams that are willing to spend money to keep themselves at the top. Then he came to United, and United said, nah, we're not going to do that. You get a team with a crap defence. Go and sort that out. Of course, that's something Van Gaal's never had before. Never had half a team. Jose's never done well with half a team. He's gone into clubs where in his first window he goes and buys tons of players. The sort of players he wants for that club. The type of players he knows he needs to get that club where he wants them to be. At United, he really wasn't given that opportunity. In the second summer window, he said he wanted defenders. Even though he had already brought in Lindelof and Bailly. He was sacked, and then United went and brought in defenders. So, yeah. And then we have Ollie. Ollie, the manager, who got Cardiff relegated and has married Mollie. Or Mold, whatever they're called. That's the point. They're a Norwegian football team. Not exactly a world-class team, somehow. Yes, he was brought in. He was brought in to do a job. He did that job. That should have been it for him. But because the players started playing well and started playing with a bit of freedom and started hitting teams on the break, teams weren't quite ready for the pace of that we played. So we got a few victories here, 10 or 11, and then, of course, he got offered the job full time. But after that 10 or 11 games, other teams started to get aware of what Man United were going to do, because there was only one tactic. Really, that was it. So the lesser teams sat back and said, go on, and you're going to try and hit us on the break? Try. We're going to let you have possession, which you don't know what to deal with, because you're not a possession-based team, so you're going to be a bit flummoxed by this. And then when you make a mistake, we're going to hit you on the break. And of course, Solskjaer had no way of solving that in any way, shape, or form. Only against the bigger teams was he successful, because the bigger teams had the arrogance of thinking, no worries, City and Liverpool, of thinking, we'll just play our game. We're good enough to beat this Man United team. Whereas Solskjaer's way then of hitting them on the break worked perfectly well, because this was teams coming at us. Which really every team was coming at us at a point when Ollie first took charge. So really all Ollie did, he got the lesser teams realising that they shouldn't come at us because we've got fast forwards. That's all he did. In that first 11, 12 games. That's all he did. But then when things started going downhill, he had no clue. Absolutely no clue whatsoever. He had not a Scooby-Doo at all. No blinking clue. That's why things didn't improve. From probably March, earlier, probably late February, early March, right round to the end of that season. It looks a shoo-in. After 7 games, everyone was betting United would finish top 4. We were actually, I think, in third at one point. Around that time, around sort of late January, we'd gone up the table really quickly with the wins. 30 points in 10 games, pretty much. Took us right up the table. Everyone said, definitely top 4. I think when Ollie took over, we were about 8th. But we still finished, 6th, I think. And that's because, in the first 10 games, he did brilliantly well. The tactic he chose worked, because people were thinking United are weak, we can go and attack them and beat them. But they were wrong, because United were hitting them on break. But then, what then happened is that teams figured them out, and he couldn't figure that out now. And he still hasn't. He still hasn't. Yeah, so they were talking on it was who was it? Right, it was Mad Red United. I think it was his one. Not totally sure. It could have been United Stand one with Alex Teller's done deal. As United spanked and they say 5-1 by Spurs. That one. It could have been that one. It's one of them. It's one where they had people coming on and speaking. Someone pointed out something very interesting. I think it was United Stand one. Yeah. Someone pointed out something very interesting. Before the game, he wrote a tweet saying that Tottenham would come down, United's left, and overrun Shaw. Yeah, pull Shaw away from his position. Then they'll have other players coming down that side, which are going to cause United problems. Because a lot of teams have done that, United have found no way to solve that. But again, that happened today. So the coaches and Ollie are apparently looking to see what other teams are going to do, and yet they can't figure out what other teams have been doing. Yeah, the other teams have been overloading Luke Shaw, or having one player who Luke Shaw is supposed to be marking, bringing Shaw inside so another player can go wide of him and get to the byline and cross the ball. Which, of course, is what's happening all day today. Again, happened against Brighton all day. And has Ollie fixed that? Nope. He hasn't got a Scooby, has he? So, and people say we're going to start with the board. Yeah. And the owners. Yeah. I wish that we had, but we didn't. We should have started with the owners 7, 8, 9 years ago. When they first took over, when they first basically robbed the club. That's when that should have been done. That's when we should have gone for the Glazers. That's when we should have been trying to take them on. Trying to get them out of the club. Too late, we didn't do it. We should have got rid of Woodward as soon as it was obvious that, David Moyes. That was the first time that Woodward really mucked it up. And that should have been a case of, well, okay, Ed, you're doing a great job on the financial side. You go focus on that. But please leave the football side to people who know what they're doing. But no, the lack of that should have woke people up, and people should have been, marching around the club saying, Woodward, get away from the football side. That should have been done then. It wasn't. So, yeah. So now you're going to focus on why today happened. Because that had nothing to do, really. Well, I was going to say, it had nothing to do with the owners or the board or Woodward. But the video I included with the previous video of Man Utd woes and reasons why, of what Gary Neville said about the fact that the players, they've been watching the headlines. Luke Shaw, only a few months ago, said we need players. We need players to come into the club because we just don't have the strength. We have a good first 11, and that's it, really. We all knew that. The players know it. the players were looking for people to come in like Sancho and whoever else, a central defender to come in. Yeah, get rid of the likes of Jones and Smalling and Rojo. Yeah, that's 3 central defenders that aren't going to feature. Get rid of them. Get rid of those 3. Bring another central defender in who's top. You know, who can replace Lindelof if need be, or Maguire if need be. Certainly at the moment, both of them have been really poor. Feel sorry for Bailly, really, because you bring Bailly in. Everyone thinks Bailly's been playing well. You've been buying Maguire should play well. No. The team lose 6-1. Poor Bailly. He's looking at it thinking, can I just get a break at this club? Yeah, I'm playing okay, but then I go and play in this game where really, at least 8 of the players just put their hands up and say, that's it. I say Gary Neville may be right in the fact that they're looking at what's happening and they're looking at the failure of Man United to get Sancho. And the likelihood is United weren't really interested in getting Sancho. Dortmund made it pretty clear at the beginning of August what the situation was. Deadline, 10th of August. £108 million was the price. United decided to play games. Why? I mean, if you're really interested in the player, would you have been playing games? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't be doing that. You wouldn't be playing games because, you'd be focusing on making sure you bring this player in and bring him in early, way before the season starts, because you want him to gel with the rest of his teammates so that when the season starts, you can, hit the road running. Rather than be slow off the blocks and, have a number of defeats before you even wake up. Which really has been what's happened. So when they got Tellez coming in, and Cavani coming in, probably not Sancho, because I say I don't think the board ever wanted him. I mean, you say, Christianity-wise, we say you judge them by the fruits. If you're judging the board by their fruits and the way they were behaving with regards to the Sancho situation, they didn't want him. The evidence strongly suggests they didn't want him. They were just playing games with the idea of wanting Sancho. They didn't want him. They weren't willing to cough up the money. They weren't willing to meet the deadline. They thought, we're Man United, we can do whatever we want. Maybe. But I don't think that they're that stupidly arrogant. I just don't think they wanted him. Yeah, that's the reality of the situation. So, it is what it is. So, there's a delay there. I saw a photo, and it's a photo where I had here an old unit. That unit has some quite useful wood in it. That I just made it up it was supposed to really be a box to put bedding, stuff like that in it. And it wasn't. It had DVDs and other stuff in there. But the legs of it have been chewed to bits by the dogs. And by the puppies, absolutely chewed to bits. So that's why I had the metal bits around the bottom, just to try and give some strength to the legs of it, because it was going to fall over completely. But there was some wood in there that I wondered, okay, what happened to that wood? What did I do with it? I have no idea. I have no idea at all. Probably going to end up chucking it away, I guess, or using it to make a box or two. Yeah. So there you go. That's the Man United situation. There isn't really a lot more that can be said or done about that, really. It is what it is. It's a big mess. To say the least, it's a huge mess. right from the board, the manager, the coaches, and some of the players. There's too many players that just don't belong at the club. Yeah, I mean, the point of De Gea, passing the ball out, trying to play from the back when we're really being pressed quite heavy, when he really should just have cleared the ball, get the ball up front somewhere, give the defenders a bit of a break. Henderson would probably have done that. So looks like De Gea needs to go. Let Henderson take over. Maguire, certainly not a captain, so he needs to lose his captaincy. It doesn't look like he's a top defender either. So, yeah. On a Sky Sports thing, they were saying that Leicester should get an award. Should be awarded for the fantastic business they did in getting 80 million from Maguire. Yeah. Yeah. That's a fair point, really. Indeed it is. That is a fair point. So, yeah. Well, that'll do for now. There'll be a lot more rants to have, I think, about Man Utd this year. I feel sorry for the likes of Evra. Evra, I mean, as I said, showed in the last video, his comments, he looked completely beaten. Horrified by it all, really. So, yeah. These ex-players who gave everything to the club and now see like today. So many of the players, Pogba, when he got when he gave away the penalty, his run back was quite slow and methodical, and then his effort for the challenge was just, he basically just fell on the floor in front of the player. It's like a swan dive. Legs first, just plunk yourself on the floor, mate. There you go. Have a rest. But that's what the players were. Pretty much the whole team. Matic was slow to do anything. And the problem with the front three is that you're playing this front three who really, there's no defensive mindedness in those players at all. Not at all. Rashford sometimes gets back, but not often. Greenwood just doesn't come back. Martial wouldn't come back anyway if he was on, but he was sent off, so that didn't help. So they've got to do more when they get the ball. When they get the ball, they've got to scare the crap out of that defence. The other team, they have to. Otherwise, what are they doing for the team? If they're not helping out defence, their attacking has to be phenomenal. Otherwise, they're only a problem for the team, aren't they, really? So all through the club, there are problems. All through the club. It's a mess. It's a mess that someone's going to have to sort out. I mean, a director of football would be ideal. A good director of football. Van der Sar. Go and get him. I'd go and get Van der Sar. Van der Sar, to me, is a man. He's a Man United man. He has some fantastic years at the club. He loves the club. He's got experience of working as a director of football at Ajax. So, I'd get him and I'd say, right, you sort out the football side. Now, by that is, don't be loyal. If I think you're being too loyal to Ollie, you and Ollie both get the sack at the same time. Right? You've got to do what's right by this club. If that means getting rid of Ollie, if Ollie isn't the man, get a shot of him now. Just get rid of him. Have a look at what he's done. Want some video evidence of how the team has played, his decision making, etc. If he's not the man, get rid of him. If he is the man, then bring him the players that he needs. But anyway, bring the players in that fit in with the mindset of Manchester United. Yeah, deal with that. Get rid of the players that shouldn't be here. If their contracts are too expensive, as in if their wages are too high that other clubs won't meet it, we'll pay some of the wages. Just get them out of the club. Simple. I mean, all of them. Every single one of them. If you don't think they're going to be good enough, get rid of them. If it means that we're going to take 3 or 4 years to get anywhere near where we need to be, then great, because at least we're on the right direction. At the moment, we don't seem to be in any direction at all. Not any. We have a slight improvement when we bring in a new player, that the team sort of lifts a bit, and then suddenly reality hits, and boom, they're right back down again. A new manager comes in, they're lifted, boom, right back down again. New player, they're lifted, boom, right back down again. This has been the mentality for a long time in this club. That's got to be sorted out. You've got to get rid of these players because so few of these players have actually won anything in their time. You can't count Europa. Europa is rubbish. Don't count that. That's a nonsense cup. Nobody cares about Europa. How many of the players at the club have won a league? Pogba has. Bruno, I think, probably has. I don't think Maguire did, or did Maguire at Leicester? Was Maguire at Leicester when they won the league, or did he come shortly after? I don't know. I don't think he was there anywhere near their top defender when they won the league, so I don't think him. De Gea has won the league. Wan-Bissaka, no. Shaw, no. No. Yeah, no, for sure. Rashford, no. Martial, no. Greenwood, no. Matic, yes. I would assume at Chelsea. Fred, no. McTominay, no. Van der Beek, probably yes. So we've got a few players that have won the league. We haven't got enough leaders. Look at the time that Fergie had. The amount of leaders in the team. Look at the Busby Babes, the amount of leaders in the team. Look at Liverpool, the amount of leaders that Liverpool have got in their team. You need leaders in your team. Look at Chelsea when they won. Look at City when they won. Look at the amount of leaders they had in their team. United have maybe Bruno. That's it. We have no other leaders. Bruno, and that's it. Nothing more. And that's disappointing. We need more leaders. We need a leader at the back. We need a goalkeeper who can organise his defence. Because even if you've got a leader at the back, that leader at the back can, generally speaking, can see in front of them. They're not going to be great at necessarily organising defence unless the goalkeeper is helping them to do so. Same as the leader in midfield. They're great at looking forward. Or if they're a defensive midfielder, they're great at looking back. So you need leaders all over the pitch. People that can organise. People that can... if, for example, the captain is having a bad game and making some terrible mistakes, the other leaders in the team can go over and have a little chat with the captain and say, "Wait, what are you doing? Come on, buckle your ideas up. This isn't how you play for this club. Come on. You can do better." And so, yeah, it is what it is. There's a lot that needs to be done. The mess is huge, and it's been huge for a long time. Certainly, Ollie is not the man to sort it out. I mean, Jose is someone who is a big name manager. There isn't really anyone who's bigger, really. Even Pep isn't necessarily bigger than what Jose was when Jose came to United. Jose wasn't able to have his will met at the club because the board just totally rolled over him. So somebody at some point, I mean, in many ways, what would be best for United would be for Jose tomorrow. For Ole tomorrow, to say, "I've stepped down. I've stepped down as a manager. The board did not support me. They didn't bring in the players that the club needed. Defensively we were terrible, but that's because they were looking to bring in British because it was about shirts. Cavani was about shirts. That's what that signature was about. It wasn't about what was best for the team, how to move the team forward. Yeah. City spent a huge amount of money in the window. They weren't that far behind Liverpool compared to where we were. We were behind Liverpool and behind City. So we should have spent more than what City have spent, and yet we haven't. At least says yet we haven't. So there you go. Yeah, the Woes are great, and they could be great for a long, long time. I mean, earlier. In the end, I think the answer is I don't know. We've never been in this situation, have we? We haven't. We're in a situation where we've got owners, and the owners are pretty much in America. They don't seem to show much of an interest in the club, particularly as long as the club is making money. That's what they seem to care about. Now, of course, they would probably disagree with that. But again, you judge them by the fruits. You don't judge them by what they want to say, you judge them by the fruits. So, yeah. Do they need to go before the club start moving forward again? That's possible. But how to make them go? That's the problem. That's where the problem comes in. It's well, how do you do that? How do you force the Glazers to sell? And then who do you get coming in? That's the thing. You get someone coming in who loves football and wants Man United to be the best team they can possibly be. Or do you just get someone in who wants to make money? Make money from the club. You get someone coming in who, makes their money through very, very bad ways. Like some of the people that have tried to take over football clubs recently. But you don't want that, do you? So, yeah. Anyway, there you go. That'll do you for now. You take care. God bless, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.